and planning of projects for the management of good management strategies.
This high-level meeting, we attach a great deal of importance to it as it provides a unique opportunity to exchange views with stakeholders and review progress in the implementation of government projects and programs and map our strategies for more effective and efficient utilization of development assistance. We have the firm belief that donor coordination will reduce the incidence of duplication of interventions and help in cutting the way forward with clear strategies in addressing the development agenda of this country.
Francis Litimbuch is the Minister of Works, Construction and Infrastructure.
Road transport is the dominant mode of transport in the Gambia, and the road network has undergone profound transformation in the past 15 years through significant investment by government and development partners. This has resulted in 75% of the primary road network being in paved standard. The reconstruction of the 125-kilometer Laminkoto-Pasimos Road project will complement the investments already made by government and ensure that the entire primary network is built to paved standard. The project would rejuvenate a strategic area of the country renowned for agriculture and other economic activities.
The Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs also took part in the discussions.
The joint assistance strategy prepared by the World Bank and the ADB and implemented during the period 2008-2011 marks a first step in harmonizing donor assistance in the Gambia in line with the Paris Declaration on Aid Effectiveness. The JAS was meant to align donor interventions with national priorities, streamline and reduce the time and cost burden of missions on government, scale up interventions and use and strengthen national systems, processes and procedures. This is indeed desirable as the JAS approach emphasizes selectivity, taking into account the comparative advantages of participating partners in the arrangement. It is an important arrangement that enhances complementarity, reduces duplication, and in instances where budget support and sector budget support instruments are utilized and encouraged as a government, it supports our country systems, enhances capacity, and ensures greater transparency and accountability in aid resources management.
The Joint Assistance Strategy Initiative is also envisaged to facilitate better program alignment and the harmonization of the development assistance in the Gambia. For GRTS News, I am Abdullah Baji.
We'll take our first break. Stay tuned.
Lucozade Energy, energizing Gambia.
Standard Chartered House now brings you the very best ladies' lingerie, dress and tops, fashion jewelry, house curtains, ladies' wigs and mesh, ladies' shoes and matching bags, incense, coats and blazers for ladies, and much, much more. Wonderful men's fashion, including men's shirts and trousers. The best prices in town at KGI Fashion Shop. Go to KGI Fashion Shop.
Welcome back. Protesters in Egypt's Tahrir Square have set a police vehicle on fire after a day of demonstrations against President Mohamed Morsi. And in Somalia, at least 10 people have been killed after a suicide bomber rammed his explosive-laden car into a car carrying the head of Somalia's secret services. For more on those and other stories, we turn to this CFI report.
Were killed by a car bomb in central Mogadishu in one of the bloodiest attacks in the Somali capital in recent months. The suicide bomber purposely rammed his vehicle into the car occupied by the head of the Somali Secret Services. 4 people were killed here, and others were killed in the minibus after the suicide killer targeted government vehicles. No group has yet claimed responsibility, but Shabab insurgents have launched a series of guerrilla-style attacks in Mogadishu. The insurgents have vowed to topple the president, who took office last year after being chosen by the country's new parliament. Mogadishu has been rocked by several small attacks in recent months. Protesters opposed to President Mohamed Morsi demonstrated in Cairo's Tahrir Square and set a police car on fire Monday. The incident comes a night after demonstrators clashed with police outside the headquarters of the Muslim Brotherhood. Demonstrations against the Muslim Brotherhood and President Morsi, formerly a senior leader of the group, have turned increasingly violent in recent months and have spread throughout the country. Oil workers in Gabon have suspended a strike begun 1 week ago. The decision was announced by the Oil Workers Organization after some of its demands were met, including the government's agreement to rehire about a dozen former employees and repatriate the French Director General of Schlumberger, Gabon. Union leaders say the strike could resume if negotiations taking place with the government do not result in new, concrete measures. Congo's ruling Congolese Workers' Party and its allies have mobilized thousands of supporters in Brazzaville in reaction against a rally by the country's opposition. The ruling party, of which President Denis Sassou Nguesso is a member, said Congo is neither in crisis nor at an impasse. The party has called on the opposition to take part in a dialogue the government is planning to organize.
Venezuela's interim president, Nicolas Maduro, has accused the United States of plotting to kill the country's main opposition figure in order to create chaos in the country, barely a month before the presidential election, and the row between India and Italy has escalated to a new level, this after India's Supreme Court ruled that the Italian ambassador to Delhi has no immunity. Let's look at this report for more.
To go before presidential elections in Venezuela, there's an alleged plot against the life of Venezuela's leading opposition politician. Venezuela's acting president, Nicolas Maduro, has accused the United States of plotting the assassination in order to create chaos in Venezuela. The target of the alleged assassination plot, Enrique Capriles, who will run against Nicolas Maduro, says his rival would be to blame for anything that happens to him. India's Supreme Court ruled that Italy's ambassador has no diplomatic immunity in an escalating row over Italy's refusal to return 2 Marines accused of killing 2 fishermen. The ambassador, Daniel Mancini, negotiated the release of the 2 Marines who skipped bail while on trial for murder in New Delhi. The Indian government has warned of consequences, and now Italy's ambassador has to stay in India until a new hearing. In Pakistan, at least 4 people were killed in a suicide attack in Peshawar. The suicide bomber blew himself up in a court complex. The attack was carried out a day after Pakistan successfully completed a first full term by an elected government for the first time in the country's history. The French authorities celebrated a record aviation contract at the president's official residence, the Élysée Palace, Monday morning. The Indonesian low-cost airline called Lion Air has ordered 234 Airbus jets. The contract is worth over 18 billion euros and guarantees 5,000 workers jobs over the next 10 years. Lion Air is banned in the European Union and the United States over safety concerns.
Pyongyang has conducted a 3rd nuclear test and has declared that it's prepared to launch a preemptive nuclear strike as tensions escalate between the U.S. and North Korea. South Koreans watched the drama unfold quietly, but as Anna Koren reports, a growing number of people want Seoul to have its own nuclear arsenal.
Perfected the art of bluffing after weeks of apocalyptic threats. The North Korean regime and its quest to become a nuclear state is being taken very seriously south of the border.
The question is, for South Koreans, can we live peacefully with nuclear-armed North Korea?